Hi, my name's Kate. I'm the designer maker behind Factory Floor Jewels. Thank you for coming to my booth today at the Gifted Small Business Christmas Market. I'm going to be doing some live sessions in the booth throughout Friday and Saturday, and the times of those are going to be popping up throughout this video. So if you do want to come back at those times, just make a note of them and you'll be able to put your camera on and have a chat to me if you've got any questions or you'd like me to show you any of the pieces. And alternatively, just have a look at the video. It will give you some ideas. I'm going to talk a little bit about the collections that I've got, or you can just go straight to the website. So really do it whichever way, have a browse, whichever way works for you. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about the brand. I'm pretty obsessed by factories. My dad was an engineer and I'm an only child, so I grew up popping to the factory with him on a Saturday morning and looking at his kind of workbench, his tools, being fascinated by the drawings that he was making using his drawing board, and walking through the factory, which was quite deserted on a Saturday. So I've always been fascinated by the sounds and the smells, and also the materials, the discarded materials, and the way in which machinery worked. So growing up, I really wanted to learn technical drawing at school, but I went to a girls' grammar school and they didn't do that. So I rebelled a little bit by taking parts of car engines into art and drawing them. So always kind of like had my hands on bits of metal and stuff. It really wasn't until I was in my 40s that I started to develop the Factory Floor Jewels brand, and it came quite quickly to me. It kind of came a while after my dad had passed away, but it came as a kind of story about my history with him and my sort of fascination of getting hold of little bits of metal and little tools and asking him what they were for and stuff like that. And so I started going around a lot of the industry that's still in Liverpool, particularly around the docks. So there's lots of engineers and shipbuilders and woodworkers and very old traditional skill sets, and talking to the people there and picking up materials that they were discarding or working with. So lots of my pieces are made from items that have been discarded from industry, or now they were originally made from items that I was kind of passed in these engineering workshops. And then I've thought, well, how can I find out more about these components, and can I buy these components on a regular basis and put them into production? So I've got a mix of collections that are made with new components and collections that actually are still made from waste, if that makes sense. And so I'll talk you through some of the collections now. So the Swarf collection is one that I'm really well known for, and I completely love it because it mixes different textures and colours of metal, which is quite indicative of the Factory Floor Jewels range. So this one, if you don't know what Swarf is, it's effectively I call it like metal sawdust. It's the fragments of metal that come off a milling machine, and it comes in all sorts of textures and colours and different metals and shapes and etc. And what I've used here is I've used brass swarf, and I've set it into really clear, like glass type resin. It's beautiful, and chosen settings for it in either sterling silver or silver plate. So a key feature is the statement ring. It's £25 and it's really nice and chunky, and it's got a nice thick adjustable ring shank, so it's perfect for everybody. And that also comes with a choice of earrings in small little delicate studs or slightly bigger dangly earrings, and a nice statement necklace on a silver or silver plated snake chain. And interestingly, in this range I've got cufflinks, and that's just perfect because the material that I'm using is going to appeal to your dads or your partners or your brothers, etc., that perhaps work in industry and understand what Swarf is. So I'd encourage you to have a look at that because it's quite a fun range. Another really popular range in the Factory Floor Jewels collections is the Nuts range. And this is a brilliant one if you're looking to buy for somebody else. I always talk about this as it having just such beautiful tones of different metals, and so it's really easy to buy it because it goes with everybody's skin tone and hair tone, colouring, etc. So in the nuts range, we are mixing silver or silver plate with steel and brass, and it's really simple and classic. It's just a collection of nuts strung onto very simple snake chains or hung on really delicate kidney shape ear wires. And recently I introduced the sterling silver hoop earrings, which are flying out, to be honest. Sterling silver is obviously, for some people, what they want for their ears rather than a silver plate. And these are just £25. They're 30 millimetre diameter hoop. So they're not massive, but they're quite bold, but they still look really delicate with just 3 different mixed coloured nuts on them. So if you like the mix of different metals, then I've got quite a few pieces that explore mixing copper with silver. And the first one is the Copper Drops collection. So there's a small pendant in that which is 18 inches, and it's got matching ear wires that are kind of quite large but delicate, if that makes sense. So they're long, they're quite a long drop, like a wishbone shape with the copper drops on the end of them. And also I've got the hoop earrings, again, the sterling silver hoop earrings with some copper pieces on those as well. And then I've started to experiment mixing the copper and aluminium and steel. So quite a number of pieces in the collection that mix those quite contrasting metals really well. Staying with the hoop earrings, I'm just going to show you a brand new collection, which is really one of my favourites right now. I'm wearing it a lot myself. I don't know if it's the kind of icy cold of winter that's settling in that reminds me of these pieces. But yeah, I'm using aluminium pieces on the sterling silver hoops. And then I've done necklaces. I've done 2 of them. One is 18 inches and one is 28 inches. And I've literally launched them in the last couple of weeks, and they're really, really popular and just so gorgeous to wear, particularly with darker tones at this time of year. A brand new item into the Factory Floor Jewels collection is the bronze Swarf studs. They're sterling silver ear studs. They're 6mm diameter, so quite tiny, quite delicate, and they're filled with bronze shavings. So Swarf that I was talking about before, these are tiny flakes of bronze. They actually come from a foundry that makes really large-scale public art, huge statues that you see in city centres, etc., all over the world. And they're made near to my studio. And I've just captured some of these beautiful flakes in this kind of clear resin that I use. And they're absolutely gorgeous. Just to talk you quickly through the rest of the items in the Factory Floor Jewels ranges, we've got the circlips, which are lovely. They're black and silver, and that contrast is just gorgeous. So that's a pendant, a choice of earrings, large or small. And the large ones, although they're quite bold, they are really still quite light to wear. And a beautiful, delicate bracelet, which is sterling silver and the black powder-coated metal. And then I've got quite a few items that come from the Marina in Liverpool. There's an Art Deco neck cuff in that, which is gorgeous. Not heavy at all. It's on sterling silver and it uses steel components. And then I've got a new unisex necklace, which is a leather thong, like a grey leather thong with a shackle on it, and that's really lovely. That's really popular. And then finally I've got my Perspex collection, which comes in a range of about 5 different colours. The rings in 2 sizes and shapes, a pendant which is a lariat, so the kind that threads through, stud earrings, hoop earrings and dangle earrings. And I'm only going to run that until I've sold out of the components that I've got already. Plastic's not something I want to buy a lot of and sell a lot of, but they were waste plastic elements. So I've made beautiful things from them, and when they're gone, they're gone. So what I might actually be doing is, over the course of the 2 days of the gifted event, is I might just put some of those up on Instagram and a website. So you get 15% off any item that's full price on my website. And you also can come back here on the times that I'm going to be here. So I think it's 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3:30 and 5:30. But I'll be around in between. If you would like to talk to me, then just send me a quick message through the booth. Okay, have a great day looking around Gifted, and thanks for stopping by to find out more about Factory Floor Jewels.